This video shows you the basics of automatically scanning newspapers. I'll start with a couple of decisions I've made from my experience doing many thousands of pages. First, I don't use the front and back cover options because they create very large images in the PDF, and I want all the pages to be the same size. Next, I check that the prefix reflects the date, number, and name of the issue I'm scanning. Finally, I wear disposable kitchen gloves when scanning to both protect my hands and also to give me better grip on the pages when I'm turning them. Now for the scanning. I start by laying down the closed newspaper face up on the right of the mat, with the fold as straight as possible against the dashed line on the screen. The squarer each page is, the better your chances of getting good optical character recognition, OCR, for a searchable PDF. Then, I place the yellow corflute down on the opposite side to get better color resolution. This yellow page will be removed when I export the job. Next, I click the camera icon in the lower left of the screen to capture this image. Even though I've set automatic as the interval, this camera icon will capture just a single image, independent of the automatic setting, and is very useful if you need to recapture a single page spread that didn't turn out as you hoped. As you can see, when I turn the page, there's a lot of page curving, especially near the central gutter where the staples are. This is where the piece of non-reflective glass has saved me an enormous amount of time because I'm not having to try to flatten the pages manually or hold their edges tight. I check the content for the best place to put the glass. In the case of ads like this, I will either lay it centrally over the gutter, or, if at the beginning or end of the paper, I might just lay it over the most curved page, as I've done in this instance. Note that even though the front page was square, it's not quite square when I turn the page, so I have to adjust it to keep the center line of the gutter aligned with the dashed line on the screen. To start the automatic scanning, I then press the big Start button at the top right. Assuming there is no movement under the camera, the software will count down 3, 2, 1, at the end of which it will take the photo. At that point, I can move my hands back to the area and turn the next page. Only after the camera detects no movement will it start the next countdown and photo. As each double-page spread is captured, it shows as a thumbnail on the left. A horizontal blue line shows the image processing in progress. I can start the next capture before this blue line has finished moving. Once I get to pages with text on them that I want to be as searchable as possible, I carefully place the glass so that its edges lay in the white space between columns, or cover as little text as possible. When I've finished capturing all the pages, I click Stop, top right button. This private collection of newspapers also contains loose pages for articles from other newspapers from that week, so now it's time to capture them. This is where the single-page capture comes in handy. I lay out the individual articles as best as possible, leaving a little bit of black showing around each article to visually indicate it's a new article. Then I click the camera icon in the lower left to capture each set of articles. Articles printed on shiny paper need to be treated a little differently because the glare from the lights is too reflective. Through trial and error, I've found that keeping the light on the opposite side on and turning off the one on the side where the shiny pages are gives the best result. Again, once each page is set up, I click the camera icon to take a photo of that page. Once I've finished capturing every page and associated articles for that week, I'm now ready to open the book page editor and check that each page is as straight as possible and fix any wonky pages as required.